Hello and welcome to Nyirád in Hungary, the location that is playing host to round 9 and 10 of TitansRX. I believe just through this door should be one Mr. Perry McCarthy. Here is the man himself. Perry, do you mind if we interrupt? Perry, I saw you out on the track earlier today. Yes. You were walking around. You said you had a few rides around in a road car. But as you were walking around, you said it surprised you a little bit. How's that?
This is a big boy circuit, I'll tell you. It's, well, big girl circuit, big boy circuit. It's like, yeah, it's very quick. It's quite complicated. It's a real old school rallycross, and it is going to be wild. I mean, absolutely wild. The real good guys, of course, got a lot of experience here, but it's going to fall in their favour on this one. So, you know, people like me who haven't done this before, been to this track, you don't have an awful lot of track time to get used to it, but that's part of the challenge, you know, that's what it's all about. So I guess that what I'm trying to do is pretty much come back with a car that still looks kind of like it did when I left, which is not to be underrated, actually. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it, but crikey, it's gonna be so tough.
Yeah, it certainly looks like an interesting track, not one that I've personally driven on. How do you think it's going to compare to the others you've faced in your Rallycross debut so far?
Well, the funny thing is that, you know, with a bit more seat time, I am becoming more familiar with the idea of rallycross and driving these cars with the four-wheel drive, and you know, clearly it's been so long since I raced, so coming back, so I am certainly getting better. Austria was a big breakthrough for me. I was an awful lot faster and a lot better at the actual argy-bargy racing of it, which was great. That's fantastic. But this thing is on a different level. So confidence that I had accumulated from being pretty good in Austria has probably nosedived here after walking around it. So I don't know, maybe I'm out thinking it. Maybe I'll be better once I'm in the car. But, you know, I'll be trying. But, goodness, there's a lot to do here. There really is.
Thanks for talking to us, Perry. We're going to take a little bit of a walk around. See you later, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
So, in this tent, we've got the Hansen brothers, along with Choo Choo, and I believe that is Ronnie Searock on the end down there. So, we're going to take a look in here. Sorry, gents, we're just going to come past. So the guys once again working really hard on Timmy's car, Kevin's car, or everybody's car along here. And I've just spied a man who I want to go and catch up with. Let's see if I can interrupt him. Graham,
how you doing?
Have you got time for a word?
I can do, yeah. So
I've taken a walk around the track. It looks very different to anything we've been to so far this season. How does that affect the setup compared to a track like Liddon Hill, for example?
I think what we're going to see here predominantly is the change from the tarmac to the gravel. I think it's going to be quite aggressive, both going onto the gravel and coming off of it. I think it will dig out a little bit there. And I think the gravel's quite loose here, and I've been coming here for quite a few years now. And historically, it's definitely becomes bumpy, starts to produce holes and bits and pieces, which is of course rallycross, so we can't moan about it, but definitely need to try and find more traction in those areas and make the car more compliant with the bumps. So stiffer or softer suspension wise? This is a little bit in the unknown, if I'm honest, because it's not quite as fast. For example, Liddon, you're fairly stiff, predominantly because you're quite fast. Here we're perhaps not quite as fast, so you'd want to go softer perhaps, but I think hitting the bumps is going to require some stiffness, so I think we're going to be trying to find a bit of a happy medium somewhere.
So a lot of work to do through practice to make sure it's right for Q1?
Yeah, don't let anyone else know this, but it's a bit of a guess before practice. And then we'll adapt from there.
Perfect. Thank you for talking to us, Graham. I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you.
Cool, so nice of Graham to have a chat with us there. Home driver, Choo Choo, competing at home this weekend. I'm sure he's got a lot of experience around this track. One of only a few drivers that actually have experience of driving around this circuit. Glorious blue skies you can see. Let's hope it lasts through the whole weekend, because I don't know about everybody else here, but I don't want to be getting wet. It's already cold enough. I've got a jumper on, but yeah, adding water to the equation is definitely not nice. Jerome Grosjean in. And we've also got Toppy Heikkinen on the end there. So Toppy, one of the drivers who have got a lot of experience around this track. It'll be interesting to see how the title fight goes between both him and the two Hansen brothers, of course, very tight at the top of the table. No one can win here this weekend because it's important to remember we've got double points available for both of the end 2 rounds in Estering. So nobody's going to be able to tie up the championship here this weekend. But of course, experience a bit here and being quick here is definitely going to pay into favour going into the final couple of rounds. So Toppy's going to be one of those guys wanting to really make sure he puts in a good performance. The guest supercars driving in the support category this weekend. We've got Tommy Karai over there and Mandy August and Rennie Munich, both in the support classes for this weekend for Titans. Good to see them around as well. So who do we have in here? We've got Ramona Carlson in the ex-Andrew Jordan car there. So Andrew Jordan not joining us this weekend, I think, due to BTCC commitments this weekend. So he's not going to be here. Choo Choo and Andreas Stefan. So we'll start with Andreas. Andreas, looking forward to the weekend?
Yes, yeah, I'm happy here. I was here in 2030 with the Super 1600.
Do you feel quite confident that you know the track, that you know your way around this circuit? It's quite a technical circuit, so are you happy that you've already driven here in the past?
Yeah, it's very technical. We have tomorrow a little bit of brain maybe, and it's not so easy for the young, for the new guys here to drive.
No, not going to be easy at all, but there is one man who stood beside you who I'm sure has got a lot of experience around this track. Choo Choo, how are you going?
Yeah, all good, and I'm really happy that we can drive now my home race, so I hope it will be better for me than the others, that I have more experience on this track, but yes, with the cars are the same, and we'll see how it works.
So obviously you've driven here a lot. What are some corners that could catch some of the drivers out? Is there any really difficult ones that you kind of need to know your way around to really master? Are there any hard corners out there?
Yeah, there's a lot hard corners because especially after the start you have a left corner what is blind, so you don't know where to go, and there is a small jump. After the second corner as well there is a wall inside, so you can't see where to turn, especially the downhill. You will go around 140, and after you have to brake on the gravel, and yeah, it's a really special track.
What are you hoping where are you hoping to finish this weekend?
I don't want to say anything.
First, of course.
I don't want to say anything because many people asking me, especially from my home, I have to be good, but I don't want to be so stressed. Just keep calm and don't care about the place. Just drive and let's see.
Good luck this weekend. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you, guys.
So I think we're just about reached the end of our paddock tour here. So make sure you catch up with all the action through the weekend at TitansRX. You don't want to miss a thing. It's going to be a very, very action-packed weekend.